David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, there's breaking news as we come on. We'll take you live right up to the Hill. Congress passing a bill demanding the release of all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. It'll now go to President Trump's desk. The House vote nearly unanimous. 427-1. Republicans joining Democrats, passing the bill demanding the Jeffrey Epstein documents be made public. Tonight, the Senate has now agreed to quickly clear the bill as soon as the House sends it to the Senate, meaning the measure will now head to President Trump's desk soon after. Tonight, the image of the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein watching from the gallery after weeks of blocking the effort, President Trump and his sudden reversal. When it appeared Republicans were going to vote for this, he changed course, telling Republicans to go ahead and vote yes. Now it goes to the president's desk. Also tonight, the remarkable scene at the White House. President Trump welcoming the Saudi crown prince after he was isolated from the world stage for years, after the CIA during President Trump's first term determined that the crown prince was responsible for the murder of a Washington Post journalist. Today, the president saying things happen, calling him, quote, a very good friend of mine. Tonight, new images emerging of the immigration crackdown in North Carolina, now spreading from Charlotte to Raleigh. Federal agents chasing people through a Charlotte laundromat. And the scene when it appears people begin honking to alert the neighborhood that agents were coming. Masked agents then confronting the women in the car, detaining them with zip ties. Outside Boston tonight on Cape Cod, the images coming in a major rescue effort. Workers trapped in a trench collapse. Tonight, the emotional moment in court. The mother of an 11-year-old son who was shot and killed in the backseat of the family car on the way to school. What she said in court to the other driver, who police say pulled out a gun and began firing. Tonight, the 18-year-old discovered dead on a Carnival cruise ship. This evening, in new court filings, it appears a step-sibling might now face charges in this case, the major turn. The U.S. military presence off Venezuela tonight. Our reporter out on the water and what he witnessed. President Trump not ruling out strikes inside Venezuela. Tonight here, actor Chris Hemsworth and the journey now with his own father diagnosed with Alzheimer's. What Hemsworth is doing with his father to help keep his memories alive. Tonight, we take you on their road trip. And LeBron James and Steph Curry on whether they'll play in the Olympics. Fans aren't going to love the answer.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with the breaking news. Congress passing a bill demanding the release of all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. The House vote nearly unanimous, 427-1. Republicans joining Democrats. And tonight, just moments ago, we have learned the Senate has now agreed to quickly clear the bill as soon as the House sends it to the Senate, meaning it then goes right to President Trump's desk. In the House today, after months of roadblocks, that rare moment in today's politics, a vote that was nearly unanimous. Just one Republican voting no. And in that chamber, the moment, as the vote unfolded, survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse watching from the House gallery above, marking the victory they have long fought for. President Trump, when pressed in the last 24 hours, will he sign the bill? He has said yes. ABC's Rachel Scott leading us off from the Hill tonight.
Tonight, a nearly unanimous vote in the House.
The yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
An extraordinary moment as dozens of Jeffrey Epstein's victims watched and cheered in the gallery. Republicans and Democrats demanding the Justice Department release the FBI files into the sex offender.
The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
It was a vote President Trump tried to prevent for weeks, assisted by House Speaker Mike Johnson, who kept the House out of session for 54 days, effectively stalling it. When it became clear Republicans were going to defy the president, Trump reversed course and told them to vote yes.
He's been very clear and he has nothing to hide, and that's why he's endorsed the vote today.
For survivors of Epstein's abuse, a moment of victory.
We're ready for the next step, and we're ready to finally release the files. All the files.
The Senate wasting no time, pledging to pass the bill and send it to the president's desk.
Without objection, so ordered.
At a vigil, survivors getting word of the news.
The Senate has passed the bill.
President Trump has pledged to sign that bill into law. But tonight, even some Republicans sounding skeptical that the files will be released.
Do you take the president at his word when he says he's going to sign this bill? And do you have confidence that these files will actually be released?
I only take people's actions seriously. No longer words.
The fact is, the president doesn't need Congress to release the Epstein files. He could do it on his own. Our Mary Bruce asking, why wait for Congress? Why not just do it now?
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert.
The president was asked again and again why he doesn't just release these files. What do you think is stopping him?
He could release them. He should release them today.
But the president has not ordered the Justice Department to release the files. Instead, he demanded that they investigate Epstein's ties to Democrats. Critics say it's to get the spotlight off of himself. Epstein's victims, including Jenna Lisa Jones, who says Epstein molested her when she was just 14, infuriated.
I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. Show some class, show some real leadership, show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment. It is time to take the honest, moral ground and support the release of these files.
A senior White House official tells us tonight that the president will sign this bill as soon as it reaches his desk. But there are still big questions about how or when the Justice Department would release these files and just how transparent they will be. That is what the victims are waiting for, David.
Rachel Scott leading us off from the Hill tonight. Rachel, thank you. Meantime, tonight, another remarkable scene unfolding, this time at the White House. President Trump welcoming the Saudi Crown Prince, who has been isolated from the world stage for years. The CIA, during President Trump's first term, determined that the Crown Prince was responsible for the murder of a Washington Post journalist. Today, when the Crown Prince was pressed on this by our Mary Bruce, the president stepped in answering first, defending the Crown Prince, saying things happen, and calling the Crown Prince, quote, a very good friend of mine. Mary Bruce at the White House tonight.
For a long time isolated on the global stage, tonight Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman fully embraced by President Trump. Welcomed to the White House with horses on parade, a military flyover, and a personal tour. Trump pulling out all the stops.
And Trump doesn't give a fist pump. See, I grabbed that hand. I don't give a hell where that hand's been. I grabbed that hand.
Trump heaping praise on the Crown Prince.
I'm very proud of the job he's done. What he's done is incredible in terms of human rights and everything else.
But it was the CIA under Donald Trump who determined in 2018 that the Crown Prince orchestrated the murder and dismemberment of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. President Trump bristling when I asked about that.
Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You with who?
ABC News, sir.
The president answering first, defending the Crown Prince, and instead criticizing the journalist who was murdered.
You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
But the Crown Prince, who rarely faces the press, defended himself.
It's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose. It's painful, and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Trump has been eager to cultivate ties to Saudi Arabia, traveling there for the first foreign trip of both his presidential terms. And his family has been doing big business in Saudi.
Trump Tower, Jeddah. Coming soon.
Trump Towers going up in Jeddah and in Riyadh, a Trump Plaza now in the works. In the last year alone, the Trump Organization's Saudi partner pumping more than $20 million into the family business. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, also has deep business ties to the country.
Is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest?
The president dismissing the notion.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot.
The Crown Prince coming here today with a major new financial commitment, agreeing to invest almost $1 trillion in the U.S. But that's no comfort to Khashoggi's widow, Hanan. Tonight, she tells me that there was no justification for her husband's murder, and she continues to call for the Crown Prince to apologize. David.
Mary Bruce asking the questions at the White House today. Mary, thank you. Tonight, there are new images emerging of the immigration crackdown in North Carolina, expanding from Charlotte to Raleigh. People chased through a Charlotte laundromat, and tonight the scene when it appears two women begin honking in their car to alert the neighborhood that agents were coming. Masked agents then confronting the women in that car, detaining them with zip ties. Faith Abube from Raleigh tonight.
Tonight, new images of the multi-day immigration crackdown in North Carolina. Customers inside this laundromat scattering during a raid on a shopping center, then running out the back door into a wooded area. I spoke with the owner who said his customers are afraid to come back.
I think it's all just political theater, really. They're just trying to instill fear in the community.
In Charlotte, masked agents confronting two U.S. citizens in their car after they reportedly honked their horn to warn others about the crackdown.
Put the windows down! Put the windows down!
An agent then smashes the car window before moving in.
He's smashing her window.
And detaining the women with zip ties. Border Patrol expanding the immigration crackdown from Charlotte to Raleigh.
We're in the communities in Raleigh, in Charlotte, and in North Carolina arresting illegal aliens.
After more than 200 arrests, these communities are pushing back.
It's sad to see my community being terrified of going to work, of going to school.
What's the message to Border Patrol as they're in town?
My message to them is honestly just, we don't need you here.
And David, protesters still out in force. As for those women from that car, DHS says they arrested them after they impeded agents and ignored warnings to stop. And sources tonight telling ABC News that the Raleigh raids have yielded few arrests and that the Border Patrol agents will focus their attention in Charlotte. David.
Faith Abube back with us tonight. Faith, thank you. This evening, there appears to be a new turn in the investigation into the death of an 18-year-old girl discovered dead on a Carnival cruise ship. New court filings now show it appears a step-sibling might now face charges. And here's Victor Oquendo.
Tonight, the mystery intensifying after a teen from Central Florida, east of Orlando, was found dead aboard the Carnival cruise ship Horizon. 18-year-old Anna Kepner, on vacation with her family earlier this month, cruising from Miami to the Caribbean. The FBI now investigating. Details around Kepner's death, including the cause, not yet released, but a new filing in an unrelated family court matter now says one of her step-siblings could face charges. According to a court document filed on Monday, Kepner was on the cruise ship with her father, stepmother, and step-siblings. Lawyers for the stepmother saying one of her minor children may now face criminal charges. The filing saying currently there is an investigation being conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigations arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner. Adding the stepmother has been advised through discussions with FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children.
The FBI declined to comment. A celebration of life ceremony will be held for the teen on Thursday. David.
Victor Oquendo with us tonight. Victor, thank you. Tonight, a powerful moment in court in Nevada. The mother of an 11-year-old boy who was shot and killed in the back seat of the family car while on the way to school. What that mother said in court today to the other driver who police say pulled out a gun and opened fire. Here's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, powerful words from the mother of a child killed in a horrific road rage attack, confronting the suspect in court.
He wanted to take somebody's life away. He took my son away. He was just trying to make it to school.
Authorities say 11-year-old Brandon Dominguez Chavarria was in the back seat Friday morning when his stepfather had a heated exchange with another driver, Tyler Johns, as they merged onto this Nevada freeway.
Our suspect then produced a handgun and fired one round.
That round struck young Brandon, and he later died at the hospital. Today, the judge granting the mother's request to hold the suspect without bail.
My son is never going to come back. He took my son's life. He needs to be here and pay for everything he did.
David, the suspect, Tyler Johns, is now facing a first-degree murder charge. He's due back in court next month. David.
Trevor Ault reporting. Thank you, Trevor. Now to the escalating tensions in the Caribbean. The U.S. military presence off Venezuela tonight. Our reporter out on the water and what he witnessed today. President Trump has not ruled out strikes inside Venezuela. Here's Matt Rivers again tonight.
Tonight, we're on a fishing boat just a few miles from the coast of Venezuela when we spotted a massive U.S. warship in the distance. Moments later, a second, a destroyer and an amphibious assault ship, both sailing the thin stretch of water between Venezuela and Trinidad.
So we're just off the coast of Trinidad and Tobago, and just over my shoulder there you can see we've spotted a pair of U.S. warships. We're too far away to know exactly which ones they are, but we do know that those ships are a part of the largest U.S. military buildup in this region in decades.
One of those two Navy ships carrying Marines from the same unit taking part in joint training exercises on the islands this week, as President Trump reviews options for possible military strikes inside Venezuela. The U.S. attacking at least 22 alleged drug boats, killing at least 83 people, and striking fear in local fishermen like Reg Williams.
They're afraid to go out and fish because next thing, like you say,
because they'd seen these videos of boats getting blown up, right?
Yeah.
And David, at the moment we saw those two warships, we could also see the Venezuelan coastline. That's how close they were. Just a remarkable show of force. David?
Matt Rivers in the region again tonight for us. Matt, thank you. Back here in the U.S. tonight and near Boston, a massive rescue effort in Yarmouth on Cape Cod. One worker was killed, 2 others rescued in a trench collapse. One of the rescued men reaching out, shaking hands with the rescuer as he was carried away right there. That trench, part of a sewer construction project on the Cape. When we come back here tonight, news this evening about the Olympics. LeBron James and Steph Curry on whether they'll play. Their answer tonight, not going to make a lot of people happy. Also, the surveillance tonight. Police say thieves taking $200,000 worth of items from NFL star Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders' home during the game. And tonight, stick around for this. The journey with his own father, diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Actor Chris Hemsworth right here tonight. What he's doing to help keep his father's memories alive. In a moment here. Tonight, authorities say surveillance videos show suspects breaking into the home of Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Police saying thieves stole $200,000 in property from him while he was making his NFL debut. Meantime, tonight, amid all of these thefts, the FBI now saying items found in Chile from similar burglaries in Los Angeles have now been returned to their owners, including a personalized Rolex belonging to actor Keanu Reeves. When we come back tonight, actor Chris Hemsworth and his father, we take you on their journey. He's trying to keep his father's memories alive and how they're doing it. And their decision is in tonight, LeBron James and Steph Curry, on whether they're going to play in the Olympics in a moment. To the index, LeBron James and Steph Curry on whether they'll play at the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. LeBron James, who will be 43 by that time, saying he won't play. Steph Curry, who will be 40, saying it's unlikely he'll play, but adds, never say never. When we come back tonight, we take you on a journey with actor Chris Hemsworth and his father. They're trying to keep his father's cherished memories alive. In a moment. Finally tonight here, actor Chris Hemsworth and the journey with his father. Here's James Longman.
Fans know him as the out-of-this-world hammer-wielding Thor in Marvel's Avengers. But now Chris Hemsworth is showing his human side in his latest, very personal project.
This is a photo of me and my dad, and I love this photo.
His new special on National Geographic, Chris Hemsworth, A Road Trip to Remember, sees him go on a journey of discovery with his dad, Craig.
You guys look fantastic.
Who has early-stage Alzheimer's.
Just want to do it like a blessing.
Thank you. Instantly, the sound of the bush and the smells reignites these memories from my childhood.
Have you ever spent that kind of time with your dad before?
Spent a hell of a lot of time with my dad surfing around the backyard, but never one-on-one like this.
The star's childhood home is recreated for the father and son to retrace their memories together.
How's it feel?
Like home.
A father and son trip made all the more poignant because the younger Hemsworth carries genes that increase the chances of developing Alzheimer's.
What are you afraid of?
There were really tender moments in this show where the two of you were just telling each other how you felt.
Yeah.
And that was very striking.
And I felt kind of a sense of guilt. Here he was, a man who had protected me my entire life, and now he's in a state where he needs support, and I hadn't had the courage to check in, you know.
And you distilled all of that into one beautiful moment because you showed us that photograph of what love looks like.
Yeah.
It's a really, really touching moment.
Yeah, thanks. It's funny how it all sort of becomes It's this sort of full circle. What else are we here for if not to continue on this journey together with compassion and empathy?
What do you hope that people watching this will take away?
Just the importance of time with those that we love, and how fleeting this whole experience is.
Chris Hemsworth, A Road Trip to Remember, Sunday on National Geographic and then streaming on Disney+. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.